the show's often touted as a show about moral values and decency and blah, 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 blah. And it does have that. But it also shows human frailties, and it dealt with a lot of issues, racism and book burning and jealousy between the kids, and, you know, very human stuff, which I think is universal and which people relate to on a very deep level.
Well, I think that's what the show was really about, in a nutshell. It was a family who were able to survive because of the fact that they loved each other, they worked together, they had good communication with each other, and they got through these problems, either problems from the outside or problems within the family. They were able to overcome them.
One of the interesting things about the Waltons, I found, is that it speaks to people no matter what their background or interests are. I was at a retirement dinner at Warner Brothers once, and I was sitting next to a woman I'd never met before. She was a set designer, and she said, "I'm very glad to know you because that show reminds me so much of the way I grew up." And I said, "Oh, were you Virginian? Were you from the South?" And she said, "Lord, no, I grew up in a Jewish ghetto in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh." But yet the show spoke to me, she said. So I think we hit a universal chord of understanding, of experience, and yearning.
I think it came at a time in America where there was a division in the country and people wanted to unite together. I think it still comes in a time in America where people want a sense of family and a sense of brotherhood of mankind that's missing. And I think Earl Hamner created a place for that to happen.
Earl Hamner created a place where viewers could find a sense of brotherhood. It was the same sense of brotherhood that he himself grew up with, a sense of brotherhood so strong that it followed him onto the set of The Waltons and turned a group of Hollywood actors into a family, and not just on the screen. For these actors, The Waltons became much more than just another job.
It transformed my life, really. I mean, I was going through a personal heartache time with a divorce from the father of my children, and I had no money. And it was like a gift from heaven, you know, to be able to work and stay in one place for 8 years and raise my kids. And
there are no words to describe what it's been like to be part of the Walton family, and everybody always asks, what is it like? Do you really like each other? Do you really get along? And I just tell them, no, we actually never met. They did it all with mirrors.
We spent a lot of time together. You know, we were frequently at work 8 hours. And then we were all in school together. So we probably spent more time together than most siblings do. And a lot of the regular siblings, I mean, I got teased and spoiled and all the things that the youngest gets. And then I'd go home and do it all to my brother. Right. Now I know really how to pick on people.
Because originally when I was 15 and, say, Mary McDonough, who was, I think, 12 or something at the time. 12 and 15, there's a lot of difference between that. But by the time you get to, 23 and 20, it's not that different. Or now, where 103 and 100.
it really is a family. I mean, these kids who are now adults, and Ralph, who's a dear love of mine. I mean, I almost feel like I am married to him, and that these are my children, and that this is part of my extended family. And I think that only comes from doing a show for as long as we did it, and watching those children grow up. I mean, literally, Cammie was 6 years old when the show started, and was 16 when the show was over. So, I mean, on my refrigerator at home, I have pictures of my children's children and my Walton's children's children, and that's a pretty special thing.